If you're struggling in the bedroom, it's not your fault. And it's not aging. The real cause of erectile dysfunction has been completely ignored by your doctor. And the pills they prescribe, they're just masking the symptom. This is the truth that most men never hear. And when you understand it, you could finally take your power back. An erection is a blood flow event regulated by your endothelium, which is your vessel lining. And it uses nitric oxide, NO. If NO is suppressed or your vessels are inflamed, insulin resistant, blood doesn't fill the corpora cavernosa and you lose rigidity. Pills goose the pathway, but they don't fix the pathway. Lifestyle, toxins, a poor diet, breathing, and other things do. So first I'm going to reveal the 5 hidden causes causing erectile dysfunction and the best natural solutions. The number 1 cause for men is antiseptic mouthwash, Listerine, Scope, and others. This kills your nitric oxide making bacteria in your oral microbiome. You see, certain mouthwashes, antiseptic mouthwash, will wipe out nitrate-reducing bacteria on your tongue. Those microbes convert dietary nitrate to nitrite and then nitric oxide, which keeps your vessels flexible. If you kill them through mouthwash, your blood pressure rises while NO signaling drops. Several human trials show antibacterial mouthwash creates this problem. And it's the exact opposite of what you want for erectile blood flow. So when you see your bottle of mouthwash and it states you're going to kill 99.9% of bacteria and germs, it's true. You will. But also, that means you get rid of the good bacteria. So you're sacrificing fresh breath for erectile dysfunction and high blood pressure. It's no coincidence that over 100 million Americans have high blood pressure and over 100 million Americans use antiseptic mouthwash. So the first step is to get rid of mouthwash. No need to use it. Use a high quality toothpaste without fluoride and floss, and there's no need to use mouthwash. If you want to clean your mouth, you could use something called coconut pulling, where you grab organic, unrefined coconut oil and you take a tablespoon and not swallow it, but keep it in your mouth and swish it around for 10 minutes and then spit it out into the sink. Even with that, you don't want to do that every day, but maybe once or twice a week is beneficial. The second thing killing nitric oxide and leading to erectile dysfunction is going to shock you, and that's going to be mouth breathing and sleep disordered breathing. You see, your paranasal sinuses make nitric oxide, and when you breathe through your nose, that breathing delivers it to the lungs and increases circulation. Mouth breathing bypasses this. It also leads to obstructive sleep disorders like sleep apnea, which is strongly associated with erectile dysfunction. Treating sleep apnea with a CPAP machine, for example, like a CPAP, has been shown to temporarily actually improve erectile scores in clinical studies. But a CPAP machine forces the oxygen, and it's not a long-term solution. And you know you're a mouth breather when you wake up in the morning with a dry mouth, if you snore, if you have daytime sleepiness. So the goal is to breathe through your nose when you're sleeping and throughout the day when you're not speaking or exercising. One of the things that I personally do to train my body to breathe through the nose versus the mouth, because I used to be a chronic mouth breather, I use mouth tape. It's a adhesive of tape. I know it sounds crazy, but you simply put the mouth tape over your mouth and you go to bed with it, and it trains your body to breathe through your nose versus your mouth. I use a company called Somnifix for the mouth tape that I use. I use it every night, and I have a link and a coupon code for Somnifix, which I'll drop in the link down below. You also want to catch yourself throughout the day when you're breathing through your mouth to be aware of it and breathe through your nose. Close your mouth. Your mouth is not made for breathing. It's made for eating. Your nose, your nostrils are for breathing. The third cause of erectile dysfunction is high levels of insulin and insulin resistance. You see, ED is frequently an early vascular complication of metabolic syndrome. Insulin resistance damages the endothelium, inflames the vessels, and lowers nitric oxide bioavailability. In a randomized controlled trial, lifestyle changes in obese men significantly improved erectile dysfunction scores. So you want to treat the metabolism, and erections often follow. Now, you could spot this by doing some lab work. If you have low levels of HDL, which is high density lipoprotein, low levels would be anything under 50, and high levels of triglycerides, which anything over 100 is high levels, those are signs of metabolic syndrome. Now, the best test to get done if you really want to learn if you have high levels of insulin is a fasting insulin blood test. It's actually arguably the most important test for your metabolism. If your fasting insulin levels are above 6, you have insulin resistance, which will deplete nitric oxide and lead to erectile dysfunction. Now, when I get to your solutions in this lesson, I'll give you the best dietary protocol to lower insulin. But first, let's stay with the problems here. The fourth cause of erectile dysfunction is actually a toxicity issue, specifically microplastics. Microplastics and associated chemicals are now being found in human testicles, in semen, and even in penile tissue. Human studies link microplastics in semen to lower sperm quality, and this contamination has been confirmed in testicles and reproductive fluids. Where are we getting exposed here? Plastic water bottles, plastic Tupperware, plastic cutting boards. Swap all of those for glass water bottles, glass Tupperware, and wood block cutting boards. And staying on this topic here, another surprising cause of erectile dysfunction in men is cologne. I can't tell you how many times I get into an Uber or an elevator and the person next to me reeks of cologne. These cologne contains fragrances that are toxins that actually disrupt NO signaling, creates inflammation, and even can increase insulin levels. So instead of using cologne, guys, you want to use essential oils. You want to use anything that does not contain fragrances and chemicals. I personally use essential oils from doTERRA, and I have a link for you to check out doTERRA. It's ketocampoils.com, and I'll drop a link for that down below. The fifth cause of erectile dysfunction is low-fat diets. Multiple intervention analyses suggest a low-fat diet can reduce men's testosterone compared to higher fat approaches. Testosterone is not only the ED variable here, but it matters for libido. It also matters for nocturnal erections and arterial health. So when you avoid fat because of this low fat craze, you're eating egg whites instead of eggs with the yolk, you're eating lean cuts of meat, you're eating chicken without the skin, that's actually a problem. Eat the eggs with the yolk. Eat the fatty cuts of meat. Eat the chicken with the skin. Get your olive oil, get your fatty fish, and eat your red meat. This improves cholesterol production, which improves testosterone and improves your erections. So those are the 5 main causes. Now let's get into some of the best solutions and protocols for you to restore function here. Number 1, ditch the antiseptic mouthwash. If you want to use do the coconut pulling once or twice a week, that's fine. No need to use mouthwash, just simply brush your teeth and floss. And instead, you want to add in tongue scraping. As a matter of fact, just using a stainless steel tongue scraper, and I'll drop a link for the one I use in the notes down below, and scraping your tongue in the morning and at night for, let's say, 10 scrapes each time, it actually helps you produce nitric oxide and actually helps with erections. This helps the oral microbiome rebound, and then NO signaling improves. Second thing you want to do is breathe throughout the day through your nose. Be aware of it, and then mouth tape at night. We already discussed that. You also want to consume nitrate-rich foods. These are specific foods that when you eat them, they keep your oral bacteria intact, which help you convert these nitrate-rich foods into nitric oxide. These are going to be arugula, celery, lettuce, and bok choy. The next thing you want to do is normalize your insulin levels. You can do this by getting 8 to 10,000 steps a day and going for a 30-minute walk after your biggest meal of the day. For most people, that's dinner. You also want to incorporate resistance training 2 or 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time, focusing on compound movements. Squats, shoulder press, push-ups, bench press, lunges. The more muscle mass you have, the more insulin sensitive you are, and it also signals anabolic signaling. In terms of your diet, you want to limit your carbohydrate intake to no more than 100 grams of carbs per day, and those carbs should be whole food carbohydrates, single ingredient carbohydrates. And you want to replace the carbs you're consuming with healthy fats and protein, red meat, eggs with the yolk, organic chicken, small fatty fish, and even things like pecans, walnuts, peely nuts, olive oil, avocados, and olives. Another tip for you is to incorporate sprinting. When you sprint, you boost nitric oxide levels, especially when you sprint outside. All you need to do is sprint all-out effort for 20 seconds, rest for 90 seconds, and complete that. That's 1 round. Do 3 rounds. That's 1 workout, and do that twice per week. If you cannot sprint because of your knees or your back or your certain activity level, you could do it on a bicycle or do it in a swimming pool. The next thing you can do to boost nitric oxide is sauna. Heat therapy creates something called vasodilation. That's when your blood vessels open up and it allows you to deliver oxygen, nutrients, blood flow to tissues for healing, including your penile tissue. And it also enhances nitric oxide production. So general protocol for sauna is to get about 150 minutes of a sauna, either infrared, dry, or steam, 150 minutes total per week to get this benefit. Something else that helps to improve testosterone, nitric oxide, and to help reverse erectile dysfunction is photobiomodulation therapy, red light therapy. When you shine red light on your testicles and on your penis, it stimulates the mitochondria within those cells. This can in turn create healthier mitochondria, healthier tissue, a nitric oxide increase, more blood flow, and help reverse erectile dysfunction. So you want to get a good red light therapy device. The ones I would recommend would be Bond Charge or Sauna Space, and I have links and coupon codes for both of them. I'll drop it down below. And place the red light device in front of your genitalia about 10 to 15 inches away for 10 minutes once a day. There are 2 supplements you could consider taking to also increase testosterone, free testosterone, and nitric oxide. The first one is going to be boron. Boron is actually cheap, low cost, and super effective. Studies show around 6 milligrams to 10 milligrams of high quality boron can make testosterone more bioavailable, which lowers sex hormone binding globulin, which is key to allowing your body to use more testosterone. I'll drop a link for the boron supplement that I use and recommend down below. The other ingredient is ashwagandha. Several random controlled trials report modest increases in testosterone and sexual well-being with ashwagandha supplementation. The daily dose would be 300 to 600 milligrams per day of the ashwagandha root extract, and I'll drop a link for the one I recommend in the notes down below. The next part of your protocol is going to be fasting. Fasting is such a great way to lower insulin, boost growth hormone, which also can help with testosterone. And the main thing here is we want to get rid of visceral fat, the fat around your organs. The more visceral fat you have, the more insulin you're going to produce, the more inflammation you'll have, and the higher likelihood you're going to trigger erectile dysfunction. Fasting helps with all of this. So you want to incorporate a daily intermittent fasting schedule. 18-6 seems to be a great protocol for most men to do every day. 18 hours fasting, 6-hour eating window, and then throwing in a 24-hour fast once a week could be a game changer for your sexual health, guys, because studies show a 24-hour fast can raise human growth hormone by 2,000% in men. I want to add one more thing into the protocol. If you have it in your budget, there's a great supplement that is doing clinical trials on raising testosterone. I actually personally use this product. It's called Upgraded Formulas Upgraded Tea. It has a lot of the ingredients I already mentioned and other ingredients like shilajit, minerals, maca, and it's a really powerful supplement. If you decide to take it, I have a link and a coupon code for it, and I'll drop it down below, but you want to take 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules in the evening, and do that for 30 days. Now, I'm going to address the questions you have on this topic. Before I do, I want to give you a free resource that's also going to help you lower inflammation, lower insulin, and help with this issue here. It's called my How to Lose 1 Pound of Fat Every Day Until You Achieve Your Goal Weight. Look, if you've been busting your ass and you're still not losing fat, your body isn't broken, your insulin is. I created a free 7-day protocol that shows you how to drop 1 pound of fat per day without counting a single calorie, without starving yourself, and without killing yourself with cardio. You'll learn the exact fasting schedule, food swaps, and fat-burning tricks to finally unlock your stored fat naturally. This is the blueprint for metabolic freedom, not another gimmick. Click the first link in the description box below, or if you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code on the screen to get it now. Don't wait for the New Year's. Your reset starts today. Now let's get to your questions. If I stop using mouthwash, how long does it take for nitric oxide levels to recover? I interviewed Dr. Nathan Bryan, who's a world-renowned researcher on nitric oxide, and he believes it could be within 7 days, which is pretty fast. How can I tell if I have sleep apnea if I don't snore? The best way is to do a sleep study. You could wear something like the Oura Ring and it tells you how many times you get up at night. But a sleep study would be the best thing to do here. And you could work with a holistic dentist, which typically they do it the right way and they order sleep studies. If you really want to find out, that's the best way to do it. Should I take a nitric oxide supplement instead of relying on diet alone? I recommend first making the lifestyle and dietary changes. But if you wanted to add a nitric oxide supplement, it's got to be the right one. A lot of the nitric oxide supplements and powders out there, it's a waste of money. And I've researched a lot of them. Again, I've interviewed Dr. Nathan Bryan on this topic. I personally use and recommend his product, these NO lozenges, where you simply just grab one of these lozenges from the bottle and you swallow it, or you just let it dissolve in your mouth. You do that in the morning, you do it in the evening. It's a great way to restore nitric oxide levels. And I have a link and a coupon code for this product that's called as N101 nitric oxide lozenges, and I'll drop that link and coupon code down below. Well, there you have it. You now know the main causes, you now know the solutions. It's time for you to apply what you just learned, and I'm excited for you to get your vitality back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And hey, if you love this protocol and you want to learn more about how I stay lean year-round, around 14% body fat, I shared the exact protocol I follow, the foods I eat, and what I do to stay lean year-round. And this is coming from somebody who used to be obese. So I just published that video. Here's a clip from that lesson. Click the video on the screen, and I'll see you in that next video. Okay, let's start right here. This is the food that changed everything. What I started to do was actually eat more fat to lose fat, but it had to be the right healthy fats. So many people think fat makes you fat. That can be true if it's inflammatory fats, but there's a set of anti-inflammatory